What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? All right. So, what's going on today? A little bit of a dip in Bitcoin. Absolutely. I'm going to be doing some shopping today, guys. I'm jacked, stacked, and fanny packed. I'm ready to go. I'm going to be loading my bags up. Let's get into it. We got some super chats right off the hop. Dave, supporting the channel as always. Today I turned the big 3-5. Thought I'd share some of this birthday money with you. Dave, man, that's absolutely awesome, brother. Happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday. Man, if I could be 35 again, holy smokes, that would be nice. Happy birthday, my friend. I hope you have an absolutely phenomenal day. Do some DCAing today on your birthday, brother. You're being given a gift of a dip. Absolutely. Yo, Mars, what's up, man? Great time to DCA. Hit the likes. Yes, and of course, Ramona. Happy birthday, David, with a Y. Everyone, please like and subscribe, both here and on Crypto Blueprint. Yes, absolutely. Quick note, guys, if you do not hit the like button, David probably will not have a good birthday. Why would you do that to David on his birthday? It's science, right? I don't make the rules. All right. What do we got, guys? What do you say? What do you know? What's going on in crypto? What's happening? We got some stuff to get into today, guys. We got quite a bit of video content that we're going to be watching today. So strap in, get your popcorn ready, and let's get ready to get into it here. All right. So first, let's get into the chat a little bit. What do we got? Paul, good to see you, my friend. Andy, reposting over on X. My dude, my brother, always supporting me, always supporting the channel. I appreciate that. Welcoming everybody. Absolutely, Josh. Absolutely, Joy. Happy Friday. Hope everyone's having a good day. DCAing, touching grass, and having a beer. There you go. Cheers. Hit the likes for great daily content. We love you, Rob. I love you too, Joy. Thank you so much. Afternoon, Crypto Cupcakes. Absolutely, man. Buckwheat in the house. Hey, Crypto Future. I'm always working away, but listening in the background. There you go. Make that dry powder, man, because we are going to be dipping. We're going to dip, and we're going to scoop it up, man. So make that dry powder while you can. My guy, Kizza in the house. Hey, Rob, hope you're good. Could you look at the trend line from BTC's top at 2017 to present day and see what you think? I could do that, I reckon. Let me shrink this down here. My mouse has been acting up. So from the trend line from 2017. So you would be talking about, is this what you're talking about? See, the problem with this is that it kind of cuts here, right? We kind of came above it and then back below it, but that's fine. That's what you'd have to be insinuating if you're insinuating we're at a top, but if not, then we would be like that. So I kind of see what you're saying. That's a massive trend line, though, my friend. Massive. Now, that would put us at about $119,000 for the top. I see what you're getting at, but no. I think we got much, much higher to go, my friend. That's why I often say that people can often cherry pick. I'm not saying you're cherry picking. I'm saying people can often cherry pick things on charts, myself included, to suit whatever narrative it is that they want to get out there, right? Not that that's what you're doing. For example, right now I'm looking at an inverse head and shoulders pattern here on Bitcoin. As you can see, boom, boom, boom. And if this plays out, we're looking at, I would like to see this correction be a little bit deeper for this to be an inverse head and shoulders, but it's still relevant. The breakout on that would be up here around $140,000. So that's kind of what I'm watching right now. So yeah, because here's the thing, guys, that you have to understand, that a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to charting. At any given time, there's never just one structure on a chart, right? There's usually a variety of bearish and bullish structures that can play out depending on how far you zoom out, how close you zoom in, right? And so that's why it's a game of probabilities, not a game of certainties, right? Because again, at any given time, let's say there's 6 different structures in play here on the current structure of Bitcoin's chart. No one knows which one's going to actually play out. All we can do is go by probabilities, right? So it never makes sense. Like I see Caesar's chat sometimes, and you get people on there and they're like, "Oh, you're wrong. You were wrong about this." Guys, there is no right or wrong when it comes to charting. Like I said, if there's like 6 different possible scenarios that can play out in a current structure on a chart, right? You're just playing a probability game. It's, you know, poor Caesar's not sitting there saying this is certainly what's going to happen 100%, you know. But yeah, so that's the thing. I guess I don't know if it's newer people to crypto that don't understand that charting is not about certainties, it's about probabilities, right? It's like there's 6 different alternate realities going on right now, and you got to pick which one most likely is going to play out. Is essentially it, right? So, William, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Easy, yo. What's the dealie, pickle? What's the deal, pickle? Nice. Chris, what's up, man? How high do you see Moonwell and Swift in the short term? Like, I'm not doing that right now, Chris. I'm not picking short-term price targets for like June, July, and stuff like that because we're in the middle of a potential war, and there's absolutely no way to know over the next month and a half where a price is going to go. It's all contingent on what Mr. T has to say about whether the U.S. is going to get involved or not in in the conflict in the Middle East. So, I mean, I could pull a number out of my arse for you, but that's really all it would be until this conflict is resolved. There's no way to know where prices are going to go. Bulbasaur, J Money in the house. What's up, my dude? Hit the likes when you walk through the door. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Twitch, my rear end is raw. The market's got some huge dog. Yeah, bite a pillow, buddy. Bite a pillow. You'll be fine. Smash the like buttons, everybody. Absolutely. Chris, hey, Rob, Caesar thinks BTC is bottomed out. Yeah, I think it's possible. I think like we could come back down here and retest around 101 to 102, this range here. We could do that. We've already wicked down this morning to 102,000, roughly 103,000. So, I mean, it's entirely possible we bottomed out, but we could see further downside. We could see us come down here, maybe on a wick, but probably on daily candle closes. Caesar's probably right. So, Moonwell needs to pick up some volume after this FUD. What FUD? I saw your comment and I looked it up, and there is no FUD. The only FUD around Moonwell right now is people whining and complaining about the price action. That's it, right? There's no actual FUD based on fundamentals or news or anything like that. I just looked it up like 20 minutes ago, and the only FUD that's appearing that I was able to find was people whining and complaining about price action. That's not FUD. That's just people whining and complaining, right? Braveheart, yo, Captain Rob and Patreon family in the house. What's up, man? Zbex still holding nice support. Yes, that is surprising. I am really, Zbex has surprised me, guys. It has, with its constant ability to maintain, where is Zbex? To maintain this level right here, right around 204. It's absolutely insane strength. Insane strength. So, but here's the thing. If we collapse below that level, obviously right here, 2033, 2035 is the next target, right? And if Bitcoin does make that leg down to around 101, 102,000, even on a wick, I think that is when Zbex is going to collapse down to this level here and retest it. It might not close there. It might just be a wick, but that'll be enough for me to scoop some more up anyway. But yes, Zbex has been holding very strong. JD Beats, what's up, man? Panic Seller fam, another DCA day. There you go. Kizza in the house. My name is Kizza, and I'm a crypto addict. Tell myself to take a break and check 10 minutes later with what's going on. Did the market pump? It's been 10 whole minutes. Guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Helps the channel grow. Doesn't cost you a single solitary thing. So go ahead and get that done. Don't make it weird. Don't make Dave have a crappy birthday. And yeah, be greatly appreciated. So Marvin, my dude, supporting the channel just because, bro. Thank you for everything you do. Hit the like button. Everyone, Marvin, I appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We had a good chat yesterday. I liked our chat yesterday too. So thank you so much, man. Jared, happy Friday, everyone. It's a big move day for me and the lady, but I still need my daily live with Rob and the gang. There you go, man. That's right. Get it in. Get in where you fit in. Josh, if you want more crypto insights, be sure to check out the Patreon. Lots of goodies in there. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Join the family, my friends. Join the family. Crypto Queen, hey Rob, sending love from CQ. Nice. Thank you for the love. Watching over on X. I appreciate you. Parallel Life. Kizza, the crypto addict. Wait there. Am I a crypto addict? Damn, I might just be. Anyone panic selling? I am panic buying today. Thoughts on Velo? I am bullish on Velo. Good project. I think it will do very well. Ty, good to see you, my friend. Discount City. Let's get it. Angela just kept dollar cost averaging on my 5 coins that I started accumulating aside. There you go, man. That's how it's done, man. That's how it's done. Just consistency, right? Who's ready for Rob? Beebs, what's up, my dude? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Jasmine XCN under a penny. Buy order set for. There you go, man. Nice, good strategy. Buying the dip. There you go. You know how much I sacrifice. Everyone enjoy being 35. Once you know it, you'll be 40. Yes, exactly. I concur with that, man. Before you know it, it's gone. Carlos, Black Friday. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Just got an alert for Ethereum below 2,500, looking to possibly support at 2,400. Yeah, what are we at right now? Ethereum, $2,425. Not bad, man. Not bad. My cat's meowing at the door. Chris, good to see you, buddy. Onyx in the house. Good to see you, man. Carlos, hey, Rob, I just joined the Patreon last night. Looking forward to learning from you and the community. Carlos, welcome to the family, my friend. We are live over there tonight around. You picked a good day, man. It's open mic Friday nights over on the Patreon. So around 9:30 p.m. Central, we have open mic session. And it's basically just a fantastic hangout, man. You're going to want to check it out. Yeah, everyone has a blast. Everybody has a blast. Make sure you're there, brother. Ramona with another super chat. Honestly, anyone who doesn't join the Patreon is actually crazy. It's such a wonderful value. Thank you so much, Ramona. Yeah, we have built an absolutely phenomenal community over there of thousands of people. It's amazing. It's amazing the support and help that everybody gets and provides. Z to the U, my favorite time of the day. Hit the likes. There you go. Welcome, Carlos. Yes, Lily's in the house. What's going on? Jack W. Oof. You're in the future now. The crypto future. Big DCA day. Let's go. Nadix refuses to go any lower. I love it. Yeah, I would like to see a little bit lower, though, because I would like to continue to stuff those bags, right? There she is, Gamma Goddess. My vote for the poll is XCN. Looking forward to DCAing. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's get this money. That'll be the day when Rob's father pulls targets from his Crypto Big Dog. What's up, man? Keep up the great content. Really appreciate all you do. Have a wonderful DCAing weekend. Big things popping, little things stopping. Hell yeah. Strawberry Dragon, thank goodness. I enjoy roller coaster rides. No kidding, eh? DCA all day, absolutely. Beebs, in your opinion, has this been one of the more challenging cycles? You know, everybody says that, but it's just really recency bias at the end of the day. the year of 2021 in crypto was just as roller coastery, if that's a word, roller coastery, just as volatile, both in price action and in sentiment. I showed you guys on the charts before, between November of 2020 and November of 2021, there were 15 corrections that were 25 to 40% they ranged from. Imagine that in a 12-month period of that parabolic part of the bull run, there were 15 corrections that ranged between 25% and 44%. People just forget, right, because of recency bias. But no, 2021 was just as complicated as this. And I'll tell you right now, in 2028, 2029, people will be saying the same thing about that cycle. They'll be saying how much harder that cycle is than this one. It's all just really recency bias at the end of the day. Over the top, what's going on, man? Blessings, Rob, at the beach on Lake Superior. Nice. Lake Superior. My hometown where I was raised is on Lake Superior, Thunder Bay. Same here, brother. You're doing the best in the crypto space. Thank you so much, Marvin. I appreciate you, man. Julian, Zebek is very resilient. Yes, that is an understatement, my friend. EZ, what has 5 toes and isn't on your foot? My foot. Well played, sir. Well played. Andy, my guy, what's up, buddy? Iran just had an earthquake, 5.2. Hope it wasn't one of those bunker busters. Yes, that would be crazy. Aloha from Hawaii. Johnny in the house. Good to see you, brother. Wyoming is using SEI as a stable coin now. Your thoughts? They're using SEI as a stable coin. That they're building, like they're putting a stable coin on SEI's network. Is that what you mean? Because SEI itself is not a stable coin. It can't be used as a stable coin. It's got to be pegged to the dollar. So is it that they're launching a stable coin on SEI network? Is that what you're saying? Okay, yes. That's super bullish for SEI. I do hold SEI network, so that's fantastic. I did not know that, so thank you for telling me. That's mega bullish news. Some utility in the network. That's what you want to see, man. Thank you for bringing that news up, man. I appreciate you. Panic selling any more bucks? Yeah, that was good, eh? That was good. Sault Ste. Marie, there you go. Nice. I've been to the Sault many times, my friend. Thunder Bay coming at you. Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. There you go. There you go. All right, we're all caught up in the chat, guys. Let's get into some of these videos. Yeah, we got some stuff to cover today. So first, let's get into Pompliano here. He's got a bit of a clip, so we'll let the chat fill up while we listen to Pomp talk. He says, everyone was crying earlier this year, but I still expect we will hit all-time highs by the end of this year. Do you agree? I don't know what that's about. Let's check it out.
2025 is one of those years where it feels like a decade has happened in just a few months. Now, if we go all the way back, you can remember Donald Trump had just been elected. People were pretty bullish on this golden age of innovation, and everyone, including myself, thought that stocks were just going to go up and to the right. If you put somebody into the White House who cares about the stock market, that uses the stock market to measure the health of the U.S. economy, you would expect the stock market to continue to go up and to the right. But that's not what happened. Instead, what we saw is that Donald Trump and his administration took office, and the first thing that they started talking about is that they were going to serve Main Street over Wall Street. Now, of course, that entire idea, it does fit into some of the things that they were talking on the campaign trail, but I don't think a lot of people, including myself, really understood the level and the severity at which they would pursue that. And so naturally, part of that plan was the tariffs. They talked about a lot of that in 2024 during the campaign. And so as soon as the tariffs got put in place and we saw Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, we saw Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, and the President of the United States all start talking about Main Street, Wall Street got pretty nervous. Naturally, the tariffs also created a lot of uncertainty, and the second that Trump actually started to put them into effect, it went from, oh, he's just negotiating, oh, he's just posturing, to now the guy's serious. And we saw Mexico and Canada, two of our largest trading partners, they were real mad. They were big mad when we started putting tariffs on them. But naturally, what did we start to do? If you went and you looked at the data, you realized that Democrats and Republicans for decades have been talking about these trade deficits and the fact that the United States government and the United States people and the United States economy has been being taken advantage of. And so now, here we go. We're going to go try to solve that problem. As soon as we started to try to address the problem, first with Mexico and Canada, eventually China, and then the entire world with all the reciprocal tariffs, the market went down. The market actually went down 20%. We saw Bitcoin go down more than 30% at one point. And so everyone was freaking out. But I don't have the biggest brain, but I did say one thing, which was we would go back to all-time highs, and we would do it in 2025. The reason is because nothing had really structurally changed in the U.S. economy, and the second that everyone gets fearful together, there's an overreaction. You saw stocks go down, you saw Bitcoin go down, you saw everyone trying to sell assets to raise dollars. But if you are putting pro-U.S. policies in place, things that should actually help U.S. businesses, obviously, the stocks are going to come back, and it's exactly what happened. We were down 20% in stocks. We're now back almost to all-time highs. The Fed hasn't even cut rates yet. So what do you think is going to happen when they do that? Now, of course, that recovery also came hand in hand with the administration saying, you know what? We came out real strong. We came out real hot with the tariffs. And instead of going and putting the tariffs at 135% on China or putting many of these other tariffs at 25 and 50% on some of these countries, instead what we're going to do is we're going to roll it back to a more rational level. We're going to try to get somewhere around 10%. If you are sitting there and you are preparing yourself for 25, 50, 135% tariffs, and all of a sudden now you only get 10, you have an anchor bias. You thought that the tariffs were going to be massive. Instead, they end up being much smaller. What do? You start to gain confidence back. As you gain confidence, people start putting capital back into the market. Now, speaking of the market, yes, stocks have recovered. Bitcoin went to a new all-time high already. So one of the two major asset classes that I talk about, that already hit a new all-time high. But what is actually being traded? What is the people actually investing in? That's what I find most interesting. Retail investors now have a larger allocation to stocks than ever before. They currently hold somewhere around 38, 39% of the whole U.S. stock market is in the hand of retail or independent self-directed investors. That eventually is going to be over 50%, in my opinion. How long that takes, I don't know. But the individuals, they now get access to information on the internet, and they're allocating capital directly on the internet, and that's going to keep going up. On top of that, you see these people. Some of them are super sophisticated. They're going to go and they're going to allocate capital based on all kinds of timeless investing principles. But many of them, what are they doing? They're buying penny stocks. They're gambling. They're all speculating. And I always find it funny. You know, Wall Street, they sit there and they kind of thumb their nose and they say, no, we don't gamble. We're not speculators. We're really serious people. You know, we got our suits and ties on. We wear our cologne. Some people wear Rolexes, the whole 9 yards. But when they do that, they're gambling too. I've never met bigger gamblers than the people on Wall Street. That's okay. That's their job. Their job is to find risk mitigated ways to drive returns. That's okay, and that's what individuals are doing too. But individuals, they take it kind of a step further. 47% of all trading volume right now is in penny stocks. Stocks worth less than $1. Crazy to see that. But I think it's all part of this big demographic shift, this big cultural shift. The second that you put a cell phone in the hands of young people and they sit there, they constantly want the dopamine and they constantly are looking for, how do I get fast results? Those people are going to push further and further on the risk curve. And that's what you're continuing to see across the market. So who are the big winners in that world? Well, if you have money printing going on with global M2 supply going up, if you have the Fed who's getting closer and closer to a rate cut, if you have more risk taking coming into the market and you have retail pushing their capital in, guess what happens? Assets like Bitcoin are going to do very well. And then obviously stocks will as well. So that's exactly what I think is happening here. Through the end of this year, I expect Bitcoin and stocks to do incredibly well. I think stocks will go back to all-time highs. I do not expect a recession, a depression, a Black Friday, or whatever else, all those doomsdayers we're predicting. And instead, I think that we are going to actually get investor amnesia. All of the investors by the end of this year, they're going to be like, it wasn't even that bad in April. I don't even remember what was going on then. Just literally going to completely forget about it. Because what ends up happening is that people want to understand what is going to happen over the long run. And the only thing that matters, the intelligence test for our entire generation, are we going to keep printing money? Are we going to continue debasing the currency? Or Can we balance the budget and stop? And now what we've figured out, this was the single greatest chance that we ever had to balance the budget in my lifetime. And we failed. We didn't get there. We're not going to get there. Instead, what are we going to do? We're going to print more money. We're going to spend more money, and the dollar's going to be debased, and asset prices, they're going to keep flying. So as Lynn Alden always says, there's no stopping this train. I completely agree with Lynn, and I think that that is really going to end up being the only thing that matters. Are you invested, or are you trying to save? And the funny thing is, the institutions, they're not as allocated right now to the market as the retail investor. The retail investor actually was able to front run the institution and get access to the recovery in the stock market and in the Bitcoin market. So for all those people who think that the retail folks are stupid, again, there's plenty of gamblers, but there's plenty of gamblers on Wall Street too. But I do think that you are starting to see a greater degree of sophistication in self-directed investors. Those people are going directly to the market and they're allocating without financial advisors or stockbrokers. And my expectation is that the percentage of capital that is owned by those individuals in the market is going to continue growing. And eventually we will see more than 50% of stocks. They're going to be actually owned by retail and self-directed investors, not by the institutions. And on top of that, I still expect stock market all-time high, Bitcoin all-time high by the end of this year. We got 6 months, 6.5 months left. Let's see what happens.
I tend to agree with them, guys. And as far as these dips go, like I said, I tell you guys this all the time. You know, when we're in the midst of a dip or something like that in the markets and people are panicking, I tell you guys, 5-6 weeks from now, you're not even going to remember this dip. He's absolutely right. It happens all the time. It happens all the time, right? So there's that. I'm going to jump back into the chat in a moment, but first, a quick shout out to the channel sponsor. As always, guys, Descent Biometric Wallet. Use our link down below to get a fantastic deal. 2-for-1 deal on the biometric wallets. You can take your profits on there. You can even stake on there, guys, and gain APY. So check it out today. One of the biggest questions I've been getting asked lately about the self-custody wallets is, can I hold my stablecoin USDC for years on there? And the answer is yes, you can, right? So not your keys, not your coins, guys. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. All right. What else do we have? Let's get into the chat a little bit more. What do we got? Jay, after that failed 20-year bond auction, did the U.S. just print to buy it back? Is the M2 about to go on? Let's look at the M2. Let's find out. They're going to have to, right? If the auction didn't go well, I never even checked up on it yesterday. Did it? Was it bad? Because I never checked up on it. I probably should have. But if we go, yeah, the M2 is ticking upwards today. Hang on a second here. Yes, it is having a little bit of a leg up today. Its local high is up 98.31. So, but it is making a leg up. Bitcoin is due to have its leg. It's dipped down. It's had this dip. The rip is coming, guys. The rip is coming as far as I'm concerned. So, Marcus, the Patreon community gives you insane value. You're missing out if you're not in it. Yes, I agree. Absolutely, man. We're going to get tired of winning. Is your first dual stream tomorrow? Yes. For my end, tomorrow's a busy day for me, guys. I'm supposed to be streaming with Cesar tomorrow afternoon. I think 1 p.m. Central, I think. I got to double check that. Same time I usually stream. I will be dual streaming with Cesar. And then in the evening, I will be, Max will be here. And Max and I will be doing a live stream in the evening. So, yeah, 2 different collaborations tomorrow. Busy Saturday for me. And here's the thing, guys. Going into next week, I might be a little bit sporadic because my dad's coming into town and I want to spend some time with him. He only comes down for about a week, one week a year. So I will be here doing my content and stuff, but it might be kind of hit and miss. So just giving you guys a heads up on that. So Dustin, just a heads up, with all the scam coins popping up, just swapped 6 SOL to a fake ZBEC. Oh no, been trading since 2015. Caught me slipping. Yeah, That can happen, man. Got to be careful out there, guys. Sorry to hear that, Dustin. Otaku, my guy, what's up, buddy? Where have you been? On the road again. Jay, yes, worse than last 5 years, yes. Andrew, what's up, man? Rob, ready to rally. Let's go, Beebs. What time will Max be on? I definitely want to catch you guys together. It's been a while. Max will be here about 8 p.m. Central tomorrow. 8 p.m. Central tomorrow night. Coach, what a time to DCA? Yes, absolutely, man. 100% a good time to DCA. All right, we got a little bit of a longer clip here now, guys. Is that the M2 money chart in yellow? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Mark. So we have a bit of a longer clip, and because it's the SEC Chair Atkins aims to make the global crypto U.S. the global crypto capital under Mr. T. Let's listen up.
Welcome back. President Trump vowing to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. The president's team making good on those promises, including Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Paul Atkins, who is pushing to make cryptocurrency more available to the everyday investor, focusing on blockchain as well as deregulating the financial markets. We want to talk with the chairman in his first television interview since his confirmation as chairman of the SEC. Paul Atkins joins me right now. Mr. Chairman, thanks so much for spending the time with us.
Well, thank you, Maria. It's great to be with you again. Thanks.
And, you know, we've spoken so much on this program about how Gary Gensler's Securities and Exchange Commission really handicapped growth and strangled markets because of so many rules and regulations. Let's start off with your priorities. How do you want the SEC to look different in 4 years, and what are you focused on most right now?
Oh, well, thanks, Maria. Well, it really is a new day at the SEC. What we're going to be doing is focusing on making rules of the road understandable and clear for people. And one of those areas is digital assets, cryptocurrencies and whatnot. And so we're working with our counterparts on the Hill and in the White House and at the Commodity Futures Trading Commission to do just that. And the good thing is, two of my colleagues as commissioners used to work for me when I was a commissioner about 15 or so years ago, and they got a head start right after inauguration to focus on crypto markets and crypto assets. Hester Peirce is leading a task force on that, and Mark Ueda is focusing on other priorities as well. So the getting the rules of the road in the digital asset space clear and for innovation to go forward here in the United States has been stymied for too long. We're focusing on capital formation, the IPO markets, and have been have not been as robust as they have been, say, 20 or more years ago, and that's again because of many issues, regulation, and litigation issues, and that sort of thing have discouraged people from going into the markets. And then finally, in the marketplace itself, the exchanges and trading rules need to be brought back to basics, and there's too much opportunity for gamesmanship in those particular aspects. So those issues, I think, will get us back to a robust and a marketplace that will be servicing investors ultimately for the best and helping American economy to grow and create jobs.
Yeah, that is a wonderful list, and I want to go through some of those because one of the issues with regard to the crypto developers and the overall market was almost too many players overseeing things. Right? I mean, and there was
On how do you make that distinction? This is one of the confusing points that's led to litigation, led to regulation by enforcement all under the Biden administration, where Gary Gensler, then the SEC chairman, said, just come in and register. All the existing laws work just fine. The answer is they don't. We've created a fit-for-purpose framework that we call the Clarity Act, which makes that determination. It will allow innovation to come back to the U.S. It will give consumers full protection on what's a good digital asset and what's a bad digital asset in terms of who's offering it, how they're regulated, how they can exchange it, how they can keep it in their digital wallet or with a custodian.
So, Mr. Chairman, in that vein of simplifying the oversight, would you support a merger of the SEC and the CFTC?
Well, Maria, that's a great question. I will do whatever Congress decides, obviously, on that, the Congress and the president. There is the lines are not clear, unfortunately, and for many years that stymied the innovation of new products. I mean, going back 20 or 30 years. So I look forward for Brian Quintenz to be confirmed and appointed as chairman of the CFTC. He's a great guy. I think we can really work together very closely. And so let's see how things go. But whatever Congress and the president decide with respect to the agencies, I would support.
I mean, you made a comment recently about helping lots of industries in terms of the blockchain. People don't understand the impact, but it is broad. And we talked before this interview about, for example, the auto industry in terms of how to create growth and make things move better, more progress with regard to the blockchain. Can you walk us through how things can get better in that regard?
Great question. So this is more than just cryptocurrencies. The innovation and the potential use cases of the blockchain and distributed ledger technology, I think, is really great. So, for example, for car titles and other evidence of ownership, to put it on a transparent type of platform such as a blockchain can save a lot of money and make things much more efficient and less costly for governments, for ultimately for taxpayers and consumers alike. So those sorts of things. Bernie Moreno, who's a great senator from Ohio, in fact, did that before he was a senator, for example. So there's so many ways, I think, that if we can bring clarity to this area so that lawyers can advise their clients as to what is proper to do and not, and what they have to do. Things have been so unclear, and like Chairman Hill was just saying, that in the past the SEC has invited people to come in, but there are a lot of stories that as people came in to talk to the SEC, they either got no answers, or even worse, by the time they got home, they might have had a subpoena in their post office mailbox or on the doorstep to respond, in an enforcement context. So those sorts of things, we're already changing them, and our goal is to have good rules of the road, good guide rails, so that people know what they can do to go forward. I think we have the authority to do that. I'm hoping that these two bills, the Clarity Act and the Genius Act, will make it through Congress and to the president's desk, and that he'll sign them. But in the meantime, we will go forth and help to bring clarity to these markets.
And in a similar vein, there's needs clarity in the IPO market. There's a bit of a broken situation there, even though we've just seen a couple of successful IPOs. But you say you want to get more IPOs to the market. How do you do that? What are the priorities there?
Well, again, I think part of it is just the whole atmosphere in the marketplace there for IPOs. There are a lot of impediments or ways that people are discouraged from becoming a public company, and one of those is the litigation threat. Secondly is just the whole cost of going public with, trying to put your documents in order and then go through, the whole process. And then third is once you become public, there are many issues, among which is corporate governance and securities or shareholder proposals and that sort of thing, that makes it very just costly to be able to be a public company. So those sorts of things I think we can address in the upcoming months and years ahead to bring, again, sort of certainty to people and have the rules of the road such that there's not a lot of excess costs to doing that. Because right now, a lot of it is there's a lot of private capital out there and private equity firms and elsewhere that have, make it so that people don't need to go to the public markets to raise capital for their new property, plant, or equipment. And so we intend to try to change that.
Yeah, and in fact, either they don't need to come to the public markets or they'll go to another public market, right? We're seeing some businesses go to Dubai and other areas of the Mideast. We're seeing them go to Asia as well. So there's that. International markets are getting the business over America in some regard. And you mentioned the proxy advisory firms. I mean, some people are saying that that's contributing to the decline in public companies, which have decreased from 7,300 in 1996 to 4,000 today. What can be done in terms of a regulatory clampdown on some of these proxy advisory firms that have tremendous influence over shareholders and shareholder decisions?
Well, that's a whole nother discussion that we could have, another time, because it's just there are a lot of different factors that play into that. But let's just say one is that there should be rules that focus on the conflicts of interest of these particular firms and how they do operate. And then secondly, I think we have to focus on issues from the perspective of the asset managers who are operating in that area. They also need to be clear as to, are they interfering or trying to influence corporate governance of public companies when they're supposed to be passive, and how they're getting their advice and how they're doing their voting, because they're using other people's money in some cases here in the past several years to maybe not be in the best interests of their investors, but more in their own parochial interests. So we will take a look at that.
Yeah, it's such a great issue to take on, Mr. Chairman. Look, I've got to ask you about our adversary, China. In the middle of this conflict in the Middle East, you see China once again undermining the United States, and they undermine the U.S. on so many levels at a time that we've got about, 200 or 300 companies listed on exchanges, but some might say as many as 5,000 Chinese stocks that are actually traded, including A shares. This is a great opportunity for the Chinese Communist Party to get itself funded by American investors. So I wonder your thoughts on some of these companies that are traded and listed on our exchanges. And by the way, some of them have already been sanctioned. Some of them are on blacklisted, blacklists of the United States. What are your thoughts on this? Do you believe that there is room for the United States to pull that economic lever to push back at communist China and stop the funding by American citizens and American investors of the Communist Party of China?
Well, Maria, again, there are a lot of issues there in that area. But first of all, we've taken the first steps here already to address some of the issues around what we call foreign private issuers. That means ostensibly private companies in Chinese sense, but others as well, who use the United States as their major trading area for their securities, even though they are headquartered and have their official corporate side of incorporation elsewhere. And so in the old days, the SEC has given a much more flexibility to foreign private issuers to list in the U.S. and trade here. But the idea was that they had a robust system of regulatory framework elsewhere. There are a lot of instances now that we've seen where there are many companies who are traded mainly here, and this is their situs of regulatory oversight over their securities, but they get these special dispensations that are not, so they're not treated just like American companies. So we've just issued a request for comment and on that, and we will be focusing on that here in the coming months to, I think, straighten that out and make sure that companies who are listed and traded here are overseen properly by the SEC. And we'll look at, obviously we're looking all the time at fraud that goes on on and pump and dump schemes. There was one that was in the papers just today about a Chinese company there. So those sorts of things are what we don't want to hear about, obviously, and what we will take very firm and swift action to address.
Oh, and I know you will. I mean, we've spoken years ago on your incredible work regarding Enron, and I want to applaud you on your work there. But, Mr. Chairman, we've been talking about the big, beautiful bill this morning, and of course, we are about 2 weeks away from the actual deadline in the Senate. Are there areas of that bill that you want to mention in terms of also aligning with your goals for a better backdrop for American investors today?
Well, obviously, what they're doing in Congress and what the president has asked for, hopefully will be good for the economy. I think it will be, and bolster because the underlying economy obviously affects the securities markets. There's one aspect there that has been inserted that I think is, it speaks towards regulatory rationality and trying to lower costs, and that's focusing on the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board there to fold that into the SEC. The PCAOB is overseen by the SEC, and there have been questions as to whether or not we could handle that aspect of what that particular agency does. I think we can, and we would be able to incorporate people from that agency and do it probably more efficiently, less costly, ultimately for the investor who pays, of course, for regulatory types of operations. So that part doesn't concern me, anyway, we'll leave that to Congress to decide what to do, but I look forward to working with them and to digging into all these issues.
It is so nice to see somebody besides Gary Gensler out there shilling, just pushing out misinformation and lies to the general public about crypto as a whole. It's refreshing. It's really, really refreshing. Absolutely. A couple super chats to get into here. Ramona, happy to hold an open mic or two while your dad is in town, not in the afternoon, but in the evening. Hey, absolutely. That would be fantastic, Ramona. Matt, just because, thanks again for all that you do. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Buying Swift on this dip like a madman. A madman. Nice. The GSAC already done. Yes. Otaku, my dude. Christopher, voting on the blockchain when you have an immutable ledger will be the future. I agree with you on that, Christopher. I've said that for a while. That is why there's two reasons why a lot of politicians don't want blockchain technology integrated into society, right? It's because it's immutable. It cannot be hacked. Information cannot be changed or altered in any way, shape, or form on the blockchain. So when you're putting a country's voting system on blockchain, guess what? You cannot fix it. You cannot cheat in a vote anymore in an election, right? You can't do that because everything is recorded and is unhackable and unchangeable, right? And if you go on top of that and you get AI agents, for example, to be able to go through these these ballots and make sure that everything is legit, well, then you just add an extra layer on top of blockchain to make sure that these these elections are being actually done fair and accurately, right? So I agree with you on that. And the other reason that they don't want blockchain technology as politicians is because all of your money that you receive is also on the blockchain. So guess what? All of a sudden, transparency is there, and everyone can see where these politicians are getting their money from, right? Who's backing them? Who's funding them? That's all fully transparent. They don't want that on the blockchain, right? So because you have too many politicians saying, for example, Elizabeth Warren, who claims she's against big banks and their narratives, meanwhile, they fund her, right? So Ceiling Fan just joined. You probably talked about it, but when do you see the market? Probably it's going to be at least 2 weeks, in my opinion. We need to see what's going on with this Middle East conflict and what the U.S. is going to end up doing. So until that kind of plays itself out. Rob, in your opinion, if you're holding Bitcoin, would you sell some to buy more Swift? I never sell my Bitcoin. Never. Never selling. Ride the dip, buy more. There you go, man. There you go. That's how it's done. Mostly secure elections. Yeah, mostly. All right, my cat is going crazy trying to get under the door over there. I don't know what's going on with her. Anyway, so yeah, Bitcoin continues to struggle, doing its thing inside of our golden pocket. We'll keep on top of it, guys. But for now, I have a mentorship coaching call that I have to take care of over on the Patreon. So if you want to get in on some mentorship coaching calls, guys, they're absolutely free as a Patreon member. So jump aboard, check it out for yourselves. If you need guidance and mentorship in this space, whether it's exit strategies, how to structure your portfolio, how to roll profits from one project to another, how to know when you should take profits and when you should not be taking profits, technical analysis, tokenomics, hot wallets, cold wallets, centralized exchanges, how to do research, and so much more, guys. Check it out over on the Patreon. Again, the link is down below. It's in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. It's in the description. It's everywhere you want to be. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.